NMU email controversy.
Snow causes problems for Marquette. Hi, I'm Chelsea Birdsall.
And I'm Melissa Lambert, and this is Public Eye News. A suspect was taken into custody late Thursday night at Michigan Tech University over a threat made on social media platform Yik Yak. State Representative Scott DeAnda said the suspect made an anonymous threat against black students that attend the university around midday Thursday. The Department of Public Safety and Police Services began investigating the threat and sent an email alert to students, faculty, and staff. Yik Yak is working with the department to help obtain more information about the post, and the suspect is currently being held at Houghton County Jail. If you have any information regarding this or any other threats, please contact Public Safety and Police Services at 906-487-2216. An email sent to a select group of students at Northern Michigan University is causing quite the controversy. The email encourages students with suicidal or self-destructive thoughts to only seek mental help, health professionals, and not from other students. This email threatens disciplinary action to anyone who involves another student in their thoughts or actions. However, only 14 students received the email, and they all met a certain criteria this year. NMU spokesperson Derek Hall said that the #1 priority of the university is protecting the well-being of students, and that students need to be in front of a trained professional. An online petition has been made by students demanding policy change, which has nearly 300 signatures.
A 225-foot U.S. Coast Guard ice cutter is currently docked in Marquette's Lower Harbor, waiting for the storm to pass. The members of the crew were on their annual mission, Fall Retrieve, to remove 100 buoys from Lake Superior in Upper Lake, Michigan. Of the 100 buoys, between 20 and 30 will be replaced with special ice buoys. The ice cutter will be breaking ice until the lock shut down in February, and then again in March after a trip home to Duluth before placing the buoys back in the water. The wintry mix covering the area is causing several problems for motorists today. Between limited visibility and slick roads, the Michigan State Police Office of Highway Safety Planning is cautioning drivers to proceed slowly. Coordinator Jamie Dolan advises increased following distance and to allow extra time in getting to destinations.
According to the Federal Aviation Administration, a plane heading to Detroit Metropolitan Airport was hit with a laser while flying 3,000 feet off the ground. Agency spokeswoman Elizabeth Isham Corey said that the plane was 8 miles east of the airport on Wednesday when it was struck. This plane was one of more than 20 aircraft across the U.S. that reported being struck by lasers from the ground. The FAA said that there have been 36 reports of lasers being pointed at aircraft from the start of the year through mid-October just in the Detroit area, up 3 from 33 reports in 2014. No injuries were reported in the incident. And with November being known for its windy weather, the Mackinac Bridge Authority is ready in any case of severe weather and to keep workers and travelers safe. The Straits of Mackinac currently have a wind advisory, and gusts could get up to 35 miles per hour. When winds reach that level, the Bridge Authority starts escorting vehicles with semis across the bridge. Mackinac Bridge Authority shift leader Todd Joseph said that they usually keep the speed of traffic around 20 miles per hour and then watch for things to unfold like wobbly trailers before sending out the escort teams. The escort teams are not currently set up, but they can be ready at any time. And stay tuned, because after the break, we'll be back through national and international news.
This week on Media Meet, efforts to expand access to fresh food from UP small farms could be challenged by costly federal safety regulations. We'll talk about a solution with UP Food Exchange leaders Michelle Walk and Natasha Lance, along with Sleepy Hollow Farm owner-operator Wendy Gibson. We'll also catch up on the region's Food Hub Network this week on WNMU's Media Meet.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. A man pleaded guilty today on 2 counts of first-degree escape and 1 count of promoting prison contraband after his escape from the upstate New York prison last year. One of the duo, David Sweat, outlived his partner in a manhunt coordinated last June after discovery of their escape from Clanton Correctional Facility. The 35-year-old, who was serving life without parole for murder charges, faces an additional 14 years and is scheduled to be sentenced February 3rd. The partner, Richard Matt, was shot dead 2 days before Sweat's capture on June 28th, 3 weeks after the escape on June 6th. Joyce Mitchell, the prison worker who helped the pair escape, was sentenced to a total of 8 years for 2 charges. Democratic candidates are taking a break from campaigning so they can prepare for Saturday night's debate. This is only the second time they will have squared up against each other, and each one has a different goal when they walk out on the stage. Wei Zhejiang is in Des Moines, Iowa, with more details.
Bernie Sanders and Martin O'Malley have a lot at stake when they take the stage in Des Moines Saturday night. The latest CBS News poll shows Hillary Clinton with a big lead over her rivals. But as Dr. Rachel Payne Caulfield, a political science professor at Drake University, explains, the poll is just a temporary snapshot.
Yeah, we have to remember, in November of 2011, Herman Cain was doing really well. Newt Gingrich was doing really well.
Former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley has his own challenges. He has to figure out a way to stand apart from his opponents while still attracting voters. John Dickerson and Nancy Cordes will moderate the debate.
Well, he has signaled that he's going to go after Hillary Clinton and possibly even Bernie Sanders pretty aggressively, and that's a big switch for him from the last debate.
Even though this is a nationally televised debate, when the candidates take the stage here, they'll be focusing most of their answers on voters in Iowa, who will be the first to vote when they caucus on February 1st.
Other people around the country, they're just starting to tune in and start to pay attention to the race. Here in Iowa, this has been an ongoing process of getting to know who these people are, what they stand for.
Viewers at home could have their own questions answered if they submit them via Twitter, which is a partner in the debate. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Des Moines, Iowa.
A Secret Service officer was arrested after he was caught sending naked pictures of himself to someone who he thought was a 14-year-old Delaware girl. Lee Robert Moore turned himself into the Maryland State Police Barracks on Monday, the same day the criminal complaint was filed. A Delaware State Police detective posing as a 14-year-old girl began chatting online with Moore. He allegedly sent naked pictures to the detective and requested to meet in person to have sex. Moore was charged with the attempted transfer of obscene material to a minor, which could lead to a prison sentence of 10 years in prison. This complaint comes after a series of high-profile controversies for the Secret Service. And the Pentagon is working to confirm if a U.S. airstrike has killed Jihadi John, one of the most recognizable figures within ISIS. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti has the latest from London.
A U.S. official tells CBS News they are almost certain a U.S. strike killed ISIS terrorist Mohammed Emwazi. The Pentagon says a U.S. drone had been tracking Emwazi, known as Jihadi John, since Wednesday, waiting for a clear shot. A missile was fired Thursday night as Emwazi entered a vehicle in Raqqa, Syria. Britain's Prime Minister praised the U.S. mission.
He was intent on murdering many more people.
Emwazi is believed to be responsible for beheading at least 7 hostages, including American journalists James Foley and Steven Sotloff, and American aid worker Peter Kassig in Syria in 2014. The gruesome videos he appeared in presented the world with a terrifying image of the Islamic State and were a powerful propaganda tool for the terror group. Emwazi, a British citizen believed to be in his mid-20s, was born in Kuwait but raised in London. A graduate from the University of Westminster, he had a degree in computer programming. Emwazi disappeared from his family's London home 2 years ago and traveled to Syria. The video massacres he staged turned him into a symbolic leader of the Islamic State and a top U.S. target. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, London.
A Palestinian man was shot dead in a West Bank hospital by undercover Israeli authorities yesterday. Israeli Defense Forces worked with Israeli Security Authority and Israeli police to arrest a suspect in October attack on Jewish settlements. Azam Shadlah was at the hospital for raid-related injuries when they started the arrest process, and his family members shot at authorities. Palestinian officials are expressing their fury, calling the attack overkill and saying the covert operation was a violation to international law. President Obama called to congratulate Aung San Suu Kyi for her success in the National League of Democracy in Myanmar elections. The league has won 327 seats and needs only 2 more to gain a majority in the parliament, but full results won't be done for 2 more weeks. Obama commented on the democratic transition the country was making and praised efforts for an inclusive government. Obama also spoke with Myanmar President Thein Sein, to which the pair discussed working together to build a new government. After the break, we'll have your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 sharp.
Why?
I'm going to need an assistant. You fit the bill.
Molly Cooper's new job.
We're a bit short-handed. Apparently there's a war on.
Can't say I noticed.
Isn't for the faint of heart.
Corpse can tell you a lot if you know how to listen.
And her first case...
I want to be at every crime scene, every autopsy, every trial.
could be her last.
Can anyone hear me?
Murder on the Home Front.
Join us Sunday night at 10. Welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Dane Wormlinger with your local weather. As you can see behind me in Northern Michigan University's Academic Mall, it's snowing, but don't worry, the snow won't stick around for much longer. Right now in Marquette, the weather is holding at about 35 degrees with winds north-northwest at 25 miles per hour, and the barometric pressure is steady at 30.08 inches. Looking into tonight, you can expect a partly cloudy evening with a low of 28 degrees and winds west-northwest at about 12 miles per hour. And looking into tomorrow, a partly cloudy day with a high of 50 degrees and winds west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. Taking a look across the UP right now in Sault Ste. Marie, it's 35 degrees with cloudy skies. In Manistee, 36 degrees. In Escanaba, 39. And in Menominee, 40 degrees with cloudy skies. Iron Mountain at 36 degrees. Ironwood at 33. And up north in Houghton, it's 35 degrees with cloudy skies. And back here in Marquette, it's 36 degrees with snowy skies. Let's take a look at your week ahead. On Sunday, you can expect a high of about 56 degrees and a low of 39 degrees and sunny skies. On Monday, a high of 52 degrees, a low of 42 degrees, and some morning rain showers. And on Tuesday, a high of 53 degrees, a low of 46 degrees, and some evening rain showers. Well, Eric, the weather is still kind of cool here, but I heard things are going to heat up in Green Bay.
Yes, Dane, and the Lions are looking to take this one from Green Bay, especially because the Lions haven't won in Green Bay since we've been alive, so it's been a while. Both ends of the NFC North will meet at Lambeau Field this Sunday when the division leaders Green Bay Packers, who are 6-2, take on the bottom-dwelling 1-7 Detroit Lions. Although the Packers and Lions reside at opposite ends of the divisional spectrum, both teams are coming off back-to-back losses and want to desperately pick up a win in Week 10. Will Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers take advantage of the subpar competition and right the ship for the Packers, or will Detroit's Matthew Stafford lead the Lions to their first victory at Lambeau since the early 90s? The Lions will have to bring the heat with their powerful defensive end Ziggy Ansah, and their new offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter will have to find a foothold on the offensive side of the ball. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. The country's two biggest daily fantasy sports companies filed court papers today in New York, asking a judge to stop the state attorney general's efforts to shut down their operations and rule on the legality of their businesses. In separate complaints filed in state Supreme Court in Manhattan, FanDuel and DraftKings similarly asked a judge for an injunction, arguing that Attorney General Eric Schneiderman wrongly characterized their businesses as games of chance rather than skill in cease and desist letters earlier this week. The court filings by FanDuel and DraftKings say the games are more skill-based than even season-long fantasy sports, which are permissible under state law. Stephen Curry hardly keeps track of how many three-pointers he puts up on any given night. His mindset is, see a chance and let it fly. And the reigning NBA MVP has had a hot hand so far this season, playing for the league's most dominant team. The defending champions appear to be even better than they were during their 67-win title run. Curry is determined to show the rest of the league he is far more polished player, capable of spectacular performances and leading the new and improved Warriors during their another special season. Curry says he's confident and is not that surprised when he does something crazy on the hardwood. He attributes his skills to his hard-nosed practicing and techniques and will display his MVP status again tomorrow when the Warriors take on the Brooklyn Nets. So Chelsea, drones are really in the media today, but unmanned cars, that's a new one.
Yeah, but it's quite an interesting one out there right now, Eric. A California police officer pulled over a car for going 24 and a 35, but didn't end up giving a ticket since there was no one to ticket because it was Google's autonomous test vehicles. Over the last 6 years, the cars have been in 11 minor accidents and resulted in light damage and no injuries. Those accidents, however, fall over 1.7 million miles of test driving and nearly 1 million miles in self-driving mode, and that the autonomous cars were never at fault. Well, that's some pretty interesting news. I don't think I would. What's the point of having a car if it just drives by itself? Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on Monday.
Program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center.